Virgo, this is your November 2016 reading. This reading incorporates both your love as well as your general forecast. November, I'm telling you a story. I'm telling you the story of how November will go for you. The first card that comes up is the overarching energy or storyline for your November story, and this says it's discovery. So you're going to feel eager again for adventure and discovery, and trying things, new things, going new places. And what's interesting about this is when you go to new places, when you try new things, when you incorporate that sense of adventure into your life, you will find that obstacles and doors that were closed before, things that you couldn't get going and desperately wanted to get going, suddenly start shifting as well. Even though the two don't have anything to do with one another. In other words, the adventure doesn't really necessarily have anything to do with what was obstacles for you. The moment you start going into a more adventurous mode and trying things and being adventurous, you will find the obstacles start falling away in your life. That's often how life works. Life is very seldom about logic, is it? Now, the beginning of your story starts off, somebody arrives on your doorstep or a message suddenly arrives, but there's information coming your way. Somebody's arriving with the information, or the information's arriving by email or letter or however it arrives nowadays. And what it's doing is it's going to bring something to conclusion, to culmination. Something has reached the end of its cycle, but it seems to be a good end of cycle, something you're probably looking forward to or anticipated or waited for. Firstly, because that first card has that rainbow, so that always has me convinced that it's good news. And secondly, because the next card that comes up is then in the relationship sphere of your life, but you start feeling a more light-hearted attitude. You start feeling lighter and you start dealing with people, the people around you, your spouse, people you don't even know but you maybe flirt with. It's this light-hearted energy. So whatever draws to a close is almost as if you take this breath of relief and it lightens up your being and the way you relate to people. Then what comes up next is there's been a long-held or long underlying issue that has to do with fairness in your life. And you seem to have an intrinsic understanding of the fact that you cannot step over the line about something. And in your relationship sphere, this is an understanding that everybody deserves kindness and respect, including yourself. And probably this has more to do with the fact that you've been working on respect for yourself. In other words, you try not to get engaged in relationships where your self-respect starts getting diminished because one, maybe you're sticking around and they don't love you, or two, the relationship's not going along the lines that you feel you're getting enough respect or kindness. So this has been an underlying theme for you, Virgo, for a while, and you've definitely been working at that, even if you've not consciously been working at that. In November, you start to see tangible evidence of the fact that that is what you are working on. Then, because you now have been working on your self-respect, you find your social circle starts improving. And you get to speak to more people, interact with more people, network with more people. This always does happen when we have self-respect. It draws people towards us. And also then one is more open. You don't have those defenses and those barriers up, so your social circle increases. And then life gets interesting, Virgo, because suddenly love appears in your life. There's Aphrodite, and there's that worth waiting for card, and this is basically saying the kind of love you've been waiting for all your life appears. Those of you who are in committed relationships, if you've been working on your self-respect, you will see that your partner responds differently to you, entirely differently. It goes without saying. And this can actually bring about a really good relationship, perhaps the kind of relationship you've been waiting for all your life. And for those of you that have been in a bad relationship and gotten out of it, or are looking for a new relationship, suddenly one appears in your life that is worth waiting for, has been worth waiting for. Now, I sense a reticence with Virgo that is getting into new relationships, possibly because of what has happened in the past. But now You find this new person, this new love experience within an existing relationship, if that is what you are in at the moment, broadens your horizons. It makes you see things differently. It makes you try new things. At the same time, though, you don't want to rush it. That's that denial card. You don't want to pick that fruit before it's ripe. So you are being slightly careful here. But the next card says, yes, this is your soulmate. So if you've met somebody new and you kind of feel that wow feeling of the start and you basically falling in love, this is saying, yes, this is a soulmate. And for those of you that are in permanent relationships and you're feeling that upwelling of feeling with each other, your relationship's getting better again, yes, this person is your soulmate. And as you know by now, if you watch my videos, soulmate is a story. It's a story. It has a beginning and it runs for a while, lifetimes possibly. And there's lots of learning together. So it's interwoven, it's complicated, and it doesn't end quickly. It'll start up again at some stage, if not in this lifetime, in the next one. Now what you find is, here's this love that you don't want to hurry up, but you're definitely in it. And suddenly that feeling of being trapped just dissolves. That cage door opens and you are free. So whereas before you felt trapped perhaps by a bad relationship, that is now falling away. It is gone because love is now in your life and your reading is full of it. So those of you that are not looking for love in November, well, what can I say to you other than you're going to be finding it regardless? And the new love card comes up then. So this soulmate, be it the person you're with, or be it the person, if you're not with anyone, that you're going to be meeting, there's going to be this new feeling of love. There's going to be these romantic feelings. You're going to feel that love again. There's no two things about it. Then an extra card came out for you guys. And like I've said to everybody so far, the stories end on a cliffhanger this month, every single last one. So it's probably why I told stories for November, because there's something happening at the end of everybody's story for November that's definitely going to have us wondering, what's December going to bring? And you have a heart-to-heart discussion. This is very interesting. I think some of you are going to be swept off your feet. And even though you are reticent and you don't want to get head over heels or too involved with someone too quickly after a last relationship, I think it's going to progress much quicker than you anticipated. And for those of you that are in committed relationships, here comes a big discussion. It doesn't have any negative feeling to it from what I can pick up, but it's deep. And it might scare you a little on other levels, but we're going to have to wait for December to see what that is all about. Now, your guidance card, the first card that comes up says, love is an angel disguised as lust. Sorry, getting tongue twisted there. Now, I'm thinking those of you that are going to meet someone new and that's your soulmate, there's going to be plenty of chemistry there. You're going to have an instant zapping attraction, and perhaps that is the thing that is going to make you so reticent, because you've possibly had that kind of attraction before, you've got your fingers burnt and you don't want to go through that again. But this card is saying, often when the universe wants us back with that soulmate, because we have a journey to do together, or the next leg of our journey needs to happen now, it'll bring chemistry into the equation, because otherwise, yes, that reticence that you have, that feeling you don't want to burn your fingers again, will keep you clear away from the person, even though it might just be a fear. So it's wanting you to overcome a fear, so it brings chemistry into the equation for you. So don't be fooled this time. I will not often say this, but this time don't be fooled by the chemistry and think that's all it is. There's more to this than just chemistry. There's love at the end of this. So pay attention to that. Then the next card says, nurture creativity and return to the sweetness of life. So what this means is, being creative in life is not just making things, it's actually making every day good. It's actually doing things you enjoy. That's being creative. And that's where the sweetness of life comes back in again. So if you really enjoy sitting down and having a good cup of coffee with a really good friend and chatting their ears off about nothing other than the weather, do those things again. That's the guidance coming through for you this month. Then you end your November reading, Virgo, acceptance of love. What more can I say? So you guys, love is coming into your life this month. It's a big, big, big theme for you this month. Open your hearts. That card is full of green. Open your hearts to love this month. Right, if you would like a personal reading so we can take a look at how exactly this will be playing out in your life, you can contact me at theoracletimes@gmail.com or book a reading via the website. Both URLs are showing up now in the owl picture. Or alternatively, if you have your own tarot deck, you can select 3 or 5 cards, email the names to me as it says in the beginning of this video. For a very small fee, I'll read them for you. That's good fun. It's interactive. We read it together. Right, and I do hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you very much for watching and listening.